Well, hello everyone and welcome to my highlights of the Formula Sim Racing Winter Series races round Brno circuit. It's round 4 of the championship, obviously 2 races, and as you can see, we join us as we line up on the grid. I qualified in P11, which was a fantastic qualifying for me by my standards. I did probably one of the best qualifying laps I'd ever done in FSR by doing, I think it was a 1:32.5, and then I qualified in 11th, and that was way beyond what I expected. So my hopes were high for the race. As you can see, it did actually take quite a while for the lights to turn on, but our plan is to switch to the outside going into the long turn 1. Going on the outside could benefit you, the driver, here. So that was the plan. As you can see, the lights have come on now, and it's lights out, and away we go. And compared to Carol Basco ahead, we get a decent start. We can't go into the outside, as Dylan Scrivens is on the outside, and Michael Ayres is on the inside. So going to someone, there's a bit of contact, and we have been pinched between those two flag-to-flag cars and tipped into a spin after contact with Jacob Reed. At first, I thought Dylan Scrivens was at fault, but then after looking at the replay many times, I realised there was absolutely nothing he could have done either. Nothing I could have done either, and it was a racing incident. As you can see from behind, looking at it from George Winter's perspective, there was absolutely nothing any of us could have done. It was just a case of, like, 4 into 1 doesn't go. We got stuck in the gravel for quite a while, and we actually lost 30 seconds. So right now, I was just feeling the car, because my car did take quite a few whacks in all of that. The game said I had damage, but it wasn't anything that affected the handling of the car, so I continued on. As you can see, there are quite a few cars who obviously had dramas hitting at the end of the lap. So now moving on to quite a fair bit later on in the race. As you can see, we're behind Gabriel Martin. Took a while for us to catch up to him, but as you can see, he pits. So that was a scary moment because that pit lane, it's a bit ridiculous that drivers had to lift off in the middle of the corner. So at this point, we were running in P19, and we were pushing hard, but that was a bit too hard. So we had a bit of a spin, which was obviously not going to help. But I've not modified my strategy, and my plan was to go to around lap 19 on the hard tyre, because then I'd have more pace on the medium tyre and less time on worn out tyres. But as you can see, here comes Barbakov exiting the pit lane right behind us. We're going to lap 19, and he started on the medium tyres, I believe, so he obviously was going to pit earlier, and he's gone to the hard tyre. He was going to have a lot more pace on much newer tyre. We tried to defend him off, but then as you can see, going into the final corner, we understeer, and that is going to allow Barbakov through. We tuck into his slipstream to see if we can get the place back. We wanted to make life as hard for these guys as possible, because obviously I was hoping to be able to catch them at the end, but to no avail. As you can see, we try to defend here from JJ Wirtz, who's on the medium tyre, but he was able to switch back us. But then he spins and makes actually a little bit of contact with us. We get away with it, and we are ahead of JJ Wirtz. But now, as you can see, he has a lot more grip going into the penultimate corner, and he's able to just easily pass me going into the final corner. We had to leave room because he was alongside. Now, as you can see, Tom Van Egmond passes us. He's on the soft tyre. I was thinking, why is he on the softs? Because he is going to completely run out of grip at the end. There's no way the softs are going to do, like, 11 laps. So we pit at the end of lap 19 as planned for a set of the medium tyre. So we are expecting our pace to be a lot faster than the cars ahead. And one crucial thing is a lot of the front runners lapped us whilst we were in the pit, so we had none of the pain of having to move over to let leaders through. As you can see, now we're behind Gabriel Martin in P18 at the moment, but with much more grip, we are able to get a fantastic drive off of turn 1. And you can see we are in the slipstream. We're going to have a look down the inside, going into turn 3, and we have made that move stick. And that is a crucial move. We are up into P16 now. So, now looking at JJ Wirtz, at this point we are thinking we're going to have to settle for 16th. But JJ Wirtz has a spin going into, I'm not sure what corner number it is. He's able to rejoin the track ahead of us. But obviously the gap has closed a considerable amount and we have the better tyres. So, now moving on to the final lap. And Tom van Egmond is going really slowly ahead. I'm not sure what was going on with him. I'm not sure whether he was saving fuel. I personally think his tyres gave out. But we are able to take P15. As you can see, we are continuing to catch up with JJ Wirtz. So now moving on to the end of the final lap. As you can see, we are right behind him. And with grippier tyres, we could do something at the final corner. So now heading into the penultimate corner, he runs wide. All we need is a good exit, but we suffer in the dirty air. And in the end, it's just too little, too late. We have to settle for P15, which, I feel if it wasn't for that first corner crash, I could have had a top 10. So I was quite disappointed. But there was still a second race to go. So now moving on to the second race, and I'm actually starting in 16th because the race director thought I'd finished in 16th and Martin had finished in P14 because of a glitch. So on his system it said that Martin had finished in P14 ahead of me and JJ Wirtz. But P16 actually reasonable time. We're on the outside of the track. You can see we're revving our engines and it's lights out and away we go. And it's a very slow start ahead from Tom van Egmond, and we already have gained a position. Now we have managed to claim the outside territory going into turn 1, but I think we ran a little bit too wide. As you can see, we're right behind Martin Pankratov, and we tried to go into a gap that was always going to close there, and we had to back off. As you can see, going into here, it is all, everyone is bunching up. Vaselli, my teammate, going into the grass, but we were just waiting for something to happen that we can take advantage of, or for a gap that we can go through to be able to gain some position. I was very surprised at this point that there was no crash. As you can see, Vaselli there had a spin and almost collects JJ Wirtz, who's on the inside. But then ahead, Disley and Hutchinson have come together, and then JJ Wirtz spins at that corner again. Not sure what issues he was having at that corner. Clearly some sort of setup issue. But we are up into P12, but we are stuck behind Martin Pankratov. As you can see, he goes into the grass. We're trying to find a way through. Now heading into the penultimate corner. Jacob Reed trying to get down the inside. And then we should have defended it, but Pankratov goes so slow going into the penultimate corner. We have to back off, and then we now have to go to the inside to see if we can cover off Jacob Reed, who's on the inside, side by side into the long right-hander at turn 1. And Jacob Reed is through. And I was not too pleased, as I felt I shouldn't be behind Pankratov in the first place after the first race. But as you can see, Reed goes wide and we are able to retake the position. But because of all of this, we realise we have to pass Pankratov soon. But now, heading into the penultimate corner, Ivan Leonov has a spin, and he is going to drop down the order. So we are going to advance a position up into P11, which is crucial for our race. As you can see, he rejoins the track quite a way down the order. Now moving on to about a lap later, we are right behind Pankratov again. We're going to have a little look down the inside just to show him that I am there. And he then runs wide out of turn 1. And we are able to get some momentum. And we are alongside. We are actually ahead. But he has the high ground going into this corner. And he is able to easily defend the position. I was getting really frustrated at this point. Now moving on to at the end of that lap, I think it was. And Thomas Satherley has a spin at the final corner. And we are now promoted into the points. I was getting so frustrated behind Pankratov, especially as I felt I shouldn't be there in the first place, considering the first race. And then the frustration gets the better of me as I have a spin. And I have to wait quite a while before I can rejoin the track. And I drop way down the order behind Gabriel Martin into P17. That becomes P16 when Tank Applegate, I believe it was, has an issue. Now we're going down the inside of Gabriel Martin, going into turn 1, and we do make the move stick, but at this point I was very frustrated with myself because I thought I'd thrown away all chance of getting points in this race because only the top 10 get points in the second race. So now moving on to a few laps later, and we go too far over the curb. We try to hold it, but we spin, and we drop behind Leonov. So, our race has taken another turn for the worse. And right behind us is Gabriel Martin. Now, as you can see, Tom van Egmond ahead has an issue, so we are able to advance a position. But now, heading into turn 1, we make a mistake, and we are going to lose P14 to Gabriel Martin because he is able, or P15 to Gabriel Martin because he has more momentum going into this corner. So we are in P15 at the moment, and I was very pissed off at this point because I knew that I wasn't going to get any points. But now, here you can see Tom van Egmond going for a very ambitious move down the inside, making a bit of contact there. I think it was a legit move, but that did not improve my move. I was very frustrated at this point. As you can see, I tried in desperacy to get back down the inside on the final lap now, and Omar Rassol has had an issue, and we are up into P15, but I was still very frustrated, especially considering my pace over the weekend. So, I finished the race in P15. I get 1 point from the first race, but still, I was very frustrated. As you can see, I destroy my car in absolute frustration as I cross the line. And as I said, I was very annoyed with only P15. Thank you very much for watching. Next race, though, is Valencia. Hopefully, I'll have a better race then in 2 weeks' time. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you for my next video. Goodbye.